One must imagine Sisyphus happy. I've seen this phrase pop up on the internet quite a bit in recent years. It's a bit of a meme, but what is the Sisyphean feat in this quote exactly? Is it the repetition of modern life, where you get up, you go to work, you come home, you go to sleep, you wake up, you go... Well, not quite. See, to understand this quote, we need to look at the essay that it comes from. In this essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, the writer Albert Camus talks about the absurd contrast between our desire for meaning and the universe's refusal to offer us one. But one thing that I love about this essay is that it doesn't spend much time debunking these worldviews that claim to be objective, unified sources of certainty. It almost assumes that the reader has already sought such certainty and come up empty. It almost assumes that the reader is already acquainted with the feeling of what Camus calls the absurd. That is, the tension between our desire for meaning and clarity and the world's refusal to answer or fulfill that desire. And rather than run from this uneasy feeling, Camus encourages us to engage in the Sisyphean task of remaining aware of this absurdity, refusing to escape into comforting worldviews that go beyond what we can honestly know, and finally, and rather poetically, through filling up our lives with experiences in the face of the absurd. Now, I know that many people claim to have found objective meaning or a unifying worldview, but there are major disagreements between all of the different ideologies that claim to deliver this meaning. So after embarking on a search for clarity, many of us leave feeling even more unsure, exposed to seemingly endless competing and contradicting truth claims. Camus references the Christian philosopher Soren Kierkegaard as well. Now, Kierkegaard famously embraces a leap of religious faith once we reach the limits of pure reason, while Camus sees that leap as a way of trying to escape the tension of the absurd, something he definitely does not want us doing. He wants us to do the opposite. Instead of turning to faith or convenient worldviews to quell the nausea of uncertainty, he wants us to sit with it, to be fully aware of it, to experience it every single day. One of the most striking lines in The Myth of Sisyphus confronts this idea. Camus writes that being able to remain on that dizzying crest, that is integrity. And he's referencing Kierkegaard's most famous quote, which is that anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. But for Camus, integrity means refusing to resolve this dizziness through the various worldviews that promise certainty, and choosing instead to remain fully conscious within the absurd. Sometimes I think of myself like Sisyphus as he's depicted in this essay, grasping and pushing against the sheer weight of the unfortunate contrast between how I wish the universe to be and the reality of how little I can actually be certain of. This metaphorical burden, this struggle to live honestly and lucidly in the face of endless opportunities to live dishonestly in a perpetually pacified state. This all feels close to home. Now, I will say I differ from Camus in a small way. Camus spends a lot of time talking about multiplying the quantity of our experiences as a form of living in this absurd reality. But I personally emphasize not the quantity, but the quality of our experiences in the face of the absurd. The act of being mindful and present, appreciating everything for what it is, and not imposing your own ideas of what you'd wish it to be. To be deeply aware of your own humanity, to be able to love and experience things without needing to attach some sense of transcendent meaning to them, savoring how miraculous it is to be anything at all, even if this is all that we are, to wake up every day and grasp the familiar weight of nothingness and enjoy it all the same. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. I'll end with the full context of the famous quote. I leave Sisyphus at the foot of the mountain. One always finds one's burden again, but Sisyphus teaches the higher fidelity that negates the gods and raises rocks. He too concludes that all is well. This universe henceforth without a master seems to him neither sterile nor futile. Each atom of that stone, each mineral flake of that night-filled mountain, in itself forms a world. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy.